A male student from Medang Technical College stabbed to death. St. John's ambulance officers attacked at Bumbu compound in Leh. And red ribbon signifies fight against HIV and AIDS. A very good evening. This is Sunday's News. I'm Godwin Eki. Thank you for joining us. A second-year male student from Medang Technical College in Medang was killed after being stabbed by thugs from the nearby Gov Store settlement around 8 p.m. on Thursday night. This happened just 2 days after a grade 9 student from Good Shepherd Secondary School was brutally attacked and almost lost his life along Medang's North Coast Road.
The victim was supposed to travel home today for holidays, but unfortunately, he was stabbed and rushed to the hospital but passed away soon after. Following his death, students and members of communities in Medang held a peaceful protest and called for immediate action on crime and illegal settlements in Medang town.
But so far, I went there as early as 5 in the morning and I spoke with the students and I spoke with the Gulf Stop people, and they've already surrendered the suspects. So far, we got all 4 suspects in custody now, as I speak.
Medang Provincial Police Commander Senior Inspector Robert Baim said the suspects' houses were burnt down by members of the Gavsto community, who later apprehended them and handed them over to police.
The burning down of the suspects' houses was done by Gavsto themselves, the people themselves, because they're fed up with such crimes that is really bringing the Medang backwards and punishing the good name of the Gavsto people. That's why they burn the houses down, because of the frustrations over what has been done by these criminals.
PPC Baim also said the police, with the assistance from members of the PNG Defence Force and Correctional Services, will be conducting operations beginning in December.
I'm giving the warning to these perpetrators not to do anything in the town vicinity and all this. We're having our Christmas Day operations that will be launched on the 1st of December, which is next week, Friday. It's a big joint operations with the CIF and PNGDF. We're in Medang to help us support us fight crime. And we will ensure that we have the peaceful festive season until January next year.
He also said they will conduct body searches and also restrict street vending in Medang town as a means to reduce crime in the central business area. Hudson Kuso, National EMTV News.
Red ribbon at workplaces has become a significant sign used as an emblem in the fight against HIV and AIDS since its first appearance in 2007 in the country. The initiative, led by the Papua New Guinea Business Coalition Against HIV and AIDS, and is marked as an essential part of raising public consciousness about the disease.
The Red AIDS ribbon originated in 1991 during a period of intense stigma and limited treatment options for HIV. The red ribbon was chosen for its symbolic connection to blood and passion, embodying anger, love, and compassion. It gained international recognition when actor Jeremy Irons wore it at the 1991 Tony Awards, highlighting the need for awareness and support for people living with HIV. Wearing a red ribbon, especially in the workplace, is more than a symbol. It is an act of solidarity and a tool to initiate conversations about HIV. It helps to reduce barriers in discussions about HIV prevention and treatment, fostering a more informed and supportive environment. The red ribbon also serves as a reminder of the millions of lives lost to AIDS, while advocating for policy changes, better funding and resources for HIV treatment and education. On World AIDS Day in PNG in 2023, the red ribbon takes on additional significance as we battle an increasing number of infections. Come Friday, 1st of December 2023, everyone is asked to commemorate lives lost to AIDS, support people still affected by HIV, renew your commitment to preventing new infections and addressing ongoing challenges, and celebrating lives saved through advance in testing, prevention and treatment with a staggering 132% increase in new HIV infections since 2010 in PNG, including 820 babies diagnosed in 2022. The red ribbon remains a vital symbol of hope and solidarity. It is a constant reminder of the need to step forward and speak up in support of the end of AIDS in PNG. Gladys Gila, National EMTV News.
With water issue becoming a norm for residents in the nation's capital, Water PNG released a statement to the newsroom highlighting contributions to this predicament.
We get our water. We have water problem all over.
Low water pressure or no water in villages and settlements is attributed to one common problem. The majority of the residents in villages and settlement communities do not pay water bills. This is the statement emphasized by Water PNG following this newsroom's inquiry into the water issues faced by residents in the Vabukori and Taikone areas.
This is how we get our water in this community here, from the drain.
Water PNG expressed that although few genuine customers do pay bills, they are affected by low water pressure or no water at all due to multiple illegal connections up front that deplete the water before it reaches the billed customers. It was further stated that Vabukori and Taikone areas are classified as non-revenue areas because of multiple illegal connections and open taps running full-time, depleting the pressure. Water PNG said that these areas are pressure controlled to save water and rationed to release at critical times only. It is further elaborated that such is a common problem not only in Vabukori and Taikone, but all village and settlement areas like Morata, 8 Mile, Baruni, 9 Mile, and 5 Mile and 6 miles. Water PNG noted that the only paying customers after Gabutu High areas are Kila Barracks and Sevesa Morea Primary School. The lines supplying Vabukori village, which covers Taikone areas, are all illegal connections or non-revenue water areas. Water PNG revealed that they also note from the recent demolition of the settlement by NCDC opposite Konedobu Park that there were a lot of illegal connections exposed. Our team has repaired and disconnected the leaks, but the settlers have now relocated to the park and there are high chances of connecting back illegally. Water PNG reiterated that people will have to be responsible to pay for their water in order to improve existing water systems as well as further encourage enhancement to water systems within the nation's capital. Natasha Voy, National EMTV News.
Parenting may seem natural, however, it comes with so much responsibilities in terms of a child's upbringing and development. To educate parents, a 5-day positive parenting workshop was conducted and funded by UNICE under the facilitation of Links of Hope gave parents the opportunity to learn different components of positive parenting.
The 3 components include of good parenting is child communication, child relationships, and child behavior. This workshop is focused on training parents in learning positive ways to dealing and raising their children. The targeted age group for the program is 1 to 10 years, an age group where a child's brain develops faster. This program also targets how parents can instill positive behavior into their children so that they grow up developing well in all aspects of life. Shalom Jacob, coordinator for positive parenting for child development of Links of Hope, takes us through how this program benefits the child and parent.
This program in a broad or in a large area, it focuses on reducing violence against children. In Papua New Guinea, we see that there's a lot of violence happening in home, especially against children. So The program targets at understanding children's behavior and the developmental changes that goes on, and how positive reinforcement is important in reducing violence against children in families.
Jacinta Pake, a participant from the workshop, emphasized that positive parenting is vital in a child's upbringing. The 5 days workshop has helped her identify areas she failed as a parent and what she can do best for her children. She brought to light that many parents encounter difficulty with their children because they lack the ability to listen to their children, and there is no quality time between the child and the parent. Gladys Kila, National EMTV News.
National EMTV News continues after the break. Stay with us. You're watching National EMTV News. Hundreds of men, women and children from the Seventh-day Adventist Church gathered today at the Bautama Mission Field, located within the Central Province, to launch their PNG for Christ campaign in preparation for the nationwide discipleship evangelism program for 2024.
The event saw hundreds in a motorcade from Mosby Northeast, West and South districts in the nation's capital flood to Bautama, chanting mainly PNG for Christ and I Will Go as a mission stance mantra. I will go! Expressing that the program is hosted by the Seventh-day Adventist Church, the Director for Sabbath School and Personal Ministry from the PNG Union Mission of the Seventh-day Adventist Church, Pastor Nathan Kaipu, elaborated on the purpose of the gathering.
The recent Blood Display Empowerment launching program, we want to empower our 13 districts in our local conference, as well as 127 organized churches, so that PNG for Christ is not for Seventh-day Adventist Church only.
Set to take place on the 24th of April to the 12th of May next year, Pastor Kaipo explained that the program will be held nationwide, with the main guest speaker, President of the Seventh-day Adventist Church General Conference, Ted Wilson, will be based in Jiwaka, whilst the program runs throughout the country. Pastor Kaipo elaborated on the theme of the program, which is Revelation of Hope.
And the world that now we are living, people stop in chat long leadership crisis, people stop in chat long social downfall, economical crisis, all areas people are going chat long big crisis. That's why theme blo people mythical same the revelation of hope, because we want to give hope to the community who only work die.
A similar program was noted to have taken place in several locations throughout the country this year. In particular, the Eastern Highlands province that had a similar launch of the campaign in Goroka in July, and East New Britain facilitated theirs in Kokopo in August. Natasha Voy, National EMTV News.
During the recent graduation ceremony for Hagen Park Day Secondary School, Principal for Hagen Park Secondary, Mr. Simon Opa, made the announcement that Hagen Park Day Secondary will now be upgraded into a Level 11 school. He said the number of staff has been increased from 64 to 84 to cater for the upgrade come next year.
Opa says the school has experienced teachers who have been teaching for more than 30 years. He made a submission to the Provincial Education Board to elevate the school from level 10 to level 11.
The second biggest school in the Highlands, apart from Goroka Secondary School. Goroka Secondary School in the Highlands is a level 11 school. And Hagen Park now is the next school in the Highlands to have reached that level at level 11.
Realizing the need to increase the number of teachers, the school applied and the National Department of Education approved for 17 positions for teachers for 2024. This elevation will now see Hagen Park Secondary School become the second school in the Highlands region to elevate into a level 11 school apart from Goroka Secondary School. This announcement was made during the 19th grade 12 graduation from Hagen Park Day Secondary School. However, Mr. Oppa says this elevation will come with a lot of challenges that the school will have to meet.
So many challenges.
Hagen Park this year enrolled a total of 2,140 students. Oppa said they have seen a huge number of transferring students this year. Tamara Agavi, National EMTV News.
Tusbab Secondary School in Medang held its 54th grade 10 and 21st grade 12 graduation ceremony, which saw a total of 732 students graduate. The school is the biggest and only public secondary school located in Medang town.
Tusbab Secondary School Principal Mr. Alphonse Igag highlighted to the parents that Tusbab is unique, citing the school has been using its own initiative to support education activities in the province, which was supposed to be carried out by the Education Division.
The Los Angeles elections, Tusbab, Mr. using own funds, the facilities belong him, walking grade 11 and grade 9 selections. Now, me comes the player, 12 players now. Since me come here, this will walk, people only me on Tusbab, and on teachers from me. And we must make him without any support from provincial administration or division of education. We will use him on funds from people and make him this provoke the province.
Apart from selections, the school has been flying in guidance officers to run the differential aptitude test in schools in the province over the years and ran teachers in service programs without any support from the provincial government or the Education Division. The school has also been assisting the Catholic Education Agency to register newly established schools in the province, and they have also assisted the University of Technology and Divine Word University by offering matriculation services for school dropouts on behalf of the universities.
Selection, I'm saying, come on in it, long sole responsibility for Tusbab. That's why, all Papa Mama, this plus school, every sanap, long representing UPLA. When government and sought this black school and sana, long makes you also from beginning, you got space for grade 9, you got space for grade 11. And more contributions from UPLA along this province.
The principal is calling on the provincial government to take this seriously and assist in supporting the education sector in the province. He further appealed to the graduating students who will be selected to study in tertiary institutions to be good ambassadors of Tusbab, and he encouraged those who do not get a placing to utilize the matriculation services offered by them to upgrade their marks. Edson Kuso, National EMTV News.
National EMTV News continues after the break. Stay with us. You're watching National EMTV News. Two St. John's ambulance officers were attacked last night at the Bumbu compound in Leh while responding to what reports claim to be a false emergency call.
Ambulance officers Douglas Vanwa and Victor Ombo were responding to an emergency call at the Bumbu compound in Leh City when they were approached by a male assailant with a hammer who proceeded to smash the ambulance. Fortunately, the ambulance was able to escape the scene. It's believed that the attacker made a false call to the ambulance service, luring the ambulance to the scene where the incident took place. These reports are supported by the community who have come forward with information that the attacker made the call to the call center. The suspect has been identified and a formal complaint has been made to police. The officers concerned escaped without any physical injury but are traumatized by the incident. This incident highlights the unique dangers that the St. John ambulance men and women face in our community. Every day, St. John responds to hundreds of genuine calls for help in our major city centres and into many rural parts of the nation. Over 4,000 false calls are made to ambulance service number 111 every day. Dame Jean Kekedo, chair of the National St. John Council, said currently there are no laws protecting St. John ambulance officers, despite St. John being the only service of its type in this nation that is responding directly into communities for emergencies at all hours of the day or night. St. John ambulances go places even the police would consider dangerous, and they do this so that others may live. Louis Maingu, National EMTV News.
In a rare occasion yesterday, more than 1,000 vibrant and committed Pathfinders and Ambassadors of the Seventh-day Adventist Church coloured up the Pacific Adventist University grounds in Port Mosby.
Adorned in their respective uniforms with an air of confidence and gratitude for what seemed a long and hectic year, yesterday saw about 1,154 ambassadors and pathfinders in Mosby's Northeast District receive pins in their various classes. This took place in a mass combined Mosby Northeast District Pathfinder and Ambassador Investiture program, which is usually carried out in local Adventist churches annually. With the district noted for being the most populated among the 3 districts of Mosby with around 26 organized churches, only 20 churches were noted to have attended the event, contributing to the total number of candidates to be invested. While the ambassador group, which consisted mainly of young adults from the ages of 16 to 21, had 9 participants, the Pathfinder group, which consisted of ages 10 to 15, had 1,145 participants. The pins received were to signify that the respective participants had finished a class in their junior youth departments and are ready to proceed to the next levels. A highlight for the event saw a Pathfinder, Paul Francis, from the 9 Mile Makana Church Club, receive the Award of Excellence as an outstanding Pathfinder in his club. In his address to the congregation, the Director for Sabbath School and Personal Ministry, Pastor Nathan Kaipu, reminded the adorned participants that the pin they had received represents Christ, the character to whom they ought to represent. Natasha Voy, National EMTV News.
And now moving to overseas news, the second group of Israeli hostages and Palestinian prisoners have been released after a last-minute delay threatened to derail the agreement.
The IDF says 13 Israelis and 4 Thai nationals were transferred to the Red Cross late on Saturday and then taken across the Egyptian border. Hamas initially delayed the exchange for several hours, claiming Israel had violated the terms of their 4-day ceasefire deal by not permitting as much aid into Gaza as promised. The IDF says the exchange of hostages is a complex event and every returning captive is being interviewed.
Each and every one of the released, we meet with them, collect all the information from them, interrogate them. Each of them is a whole world. Some of them have memory, some not. And therefore, we find from each one exactly what they remember, what they saw, what they learned.
With the hostages secure, Israel has now released 39 Palestinian prisoners, including 6 women and 33 children. Large crowds gathered to celebrate the return of the prisoners, chanting "God is great," as a Red Cross bus carrying them arrived in the West Bank. Israel is expected to release 150 Palestinian prisoners during the 4-day ceasefire, while Hamas is set to free 50 Israeli hostages. With the fighting paused, another 200 trucks loaded with supplies were able to enter Gaza, along with fuel and cooking gas.
I'm speaking to people here in the south who've come out of Shifa Hospital with serious injuries, and they give a sense of just how desperate the situation is there for people. No water, no food, no shelter. And of course, here in the south, it's about people taking this moment of respite just to see family members or to look for family members.
The Ukrainian capital, Kyiv, has been hit by what authorities are calling the largest drone attack since the war began last year.
The illumination of Kyiv's air defences, trying to keep out wave after wave of Russian drone attacks. It's a desperate 6-hour game of search and destroy. An assault designed to exhaust and overwhelm. Even when they're intercepted, the debris can still be a threat. Ukraine has resisted Russian attempts to target infrastructure before, but they still take a toll.
The blast was very powerful. It even blew out the entrance metallic door. We would have been buried by the doors because the strength of the blast was immense.
In the northeast Luhansk region, there are still hard-fought gains and losses. It's the story of the 700-mile front line. Today, President Zelensky was at a Holodomor remembrance service in Kyiv to commemorate when millions of Ukrainians were starved to death under the Soviet Union in the 1930s. Evil was not stopped, he said, was not atoned for, and now we are stopping it. His country still faces a threat from Moscow today, and he's still urging the world to unite against it.
Australia's federal government says Australia is closing in on its goal to reduce emissions by 43% by 2030.
According to new analysis set to be released to Parliament this week, Australia's emissions are projected to be 42% below 2005 levels by the end of the decade. The projection is based on the implementation of existing climate policies, with the government saying the outlook will improve as more policies are implemented. But Minister for Climate Change Chris Bowen says there's still more to do.
We are now on track for 42% emissions reduction by 2030, underpinned by the 82% renewable target plus other policy initiatives. Shows that we have done well. We have more work to do. We want to get to 43%, and indeed we've always said we see that as a flaw to our ambitions, but it's ambitious. You know, Australia is coming at this 2030 target starting in 2022. Australia on climate policies like the kid that forgot about the exam and has to really come home strongly in the final period.
National EMTV News continues after the break with Trukai Sports. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports.
Welcome to Trukai Sports. Part of Papua New Guinea's team of athletes who've competed at the Pacific Games in Honiara, Solomon Islands, returned today.
Arriving today at the Jackson's International Airport were the Papua New Guinea team of athletes that competed in the men's and women's volleyball, basketball, rugby sevens, golf and swimming games. Family gathered at the arrival entrance to welcome home their loved ones.
It's all about the country, yeah. Represent the country and wanna Mipla goya, mipla training hard straight, na mipla make yoga something just lo kissing goal. Mipla been winning goal, but mipla claiming goal, but unfortunately we fall short. Mipla kiss silver, that's all. And
this is my fourth time to attend the South Pacific game, and so Solomon Islands, it's been a tough. Weather is. So I'm used to play golf and take part in golf, and then the competition is tough.
Papua New Guinea's weightlifting team and champion Nika Toa arrived at the Port Mosby Jackson's International Airport yesterday. Claire Mauta, Trukai Sports.
With the 17 Pacific Games underway in Honiara, Solomon Islands, PNG is in 10th spot in the Pacific Games gold medal tally with 4 gold and 25 medals in total. Leading well ahead is New Caledonia with 55 gold medals and a total of 126 medals in all. Australia follows with 28 gold medals and 55 medals in total. Tahiti stands in 3rd spot with 22 gold and 86 medal count. This is according to Solomon Islands 2023 medal tally. The one-month Eastern Papua Carnival kicked off last week with 20 male teams and 12 female teams, all from the Eastern Papuan region. This week is the second week of the tournament, with teams playing hard to be in the finals in a few weeks.
Today we saw both Mayala FC and Gayala FC battling it out on the field for the round-robin games for next week's knockouts. EPC Director Naku Neabo said next week will be the final leg of the competition for the round-robin and they will move into the knockouts on the 4th week. He said despite the late preparations, they managed to register a good number of teams to participate. The main aim of the carnival is to attract sponsors to support the competition because most of the funds used are from the registration fees.
The clubs that we expected to come to the top of each pool have filtered out and come to the top, like Mayala, former champions, Milsen last year's champion, and the teams, those teams have naturally found their way to the top of the ladder. So we're looking at good finals coming up within the next 2 weeks.
EPC has been in existence since 1978. Some of us were maybe at primary school, and it has not progressed in terms of the technical aspect of the game and with the community. If anything that we want with less team, we want to see that the standard of football, to go to another level, and that's one of the main reasons why.
Claire Mauta, Trukai Sports.
Trukai Sports continues after the break. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports.
You're watching Trukai Sports. In the heart of Port Mosby, the Gimabo Kickboxing Club hosted the thrilling one-day kickboxing showdown at Tukarara today, drawing participants from 6 dedicated clubs for an adrenaline-fueled day of intense competition.
PNG's 2-time undefeated kickboxing champion and international gold medalist Thomas the Spiderman Kagili expressed their mission to transform the mindset of young men and women, steering them away from bad habits and building them with discipline and respect through kickboxing.
Gaban focus on something. Gaban will busy. All stop on area blown. No, lulo youths nowadays in stop. Because Lomier make experience, me come out with like youths background Lomier. First me come out of drug, still. Because me come out of drug now still because me look most martial arts all about them, respected them. Me compare him some sports them. I mean I'm alright, but martial arts respect na discipline and stuff. Full 100% stuff inside.
Barbara John, a determined young woman who fights in the 63 kg in the women's division, says kickboxing helps her to protect herself and her family. With unwavering determination, she stepped into the ring not just for personal empowerment, but to inspire other young girls to join this sporting discipline.
Come training, take part in sports, kickboxing, just defend your led because now I'm CTM, no good plan. Can't still man full up. So just overcome training, let me some plus self-defense.
One particular fighter, David Ome, shared his excitement about being selected to represent his province in the upcoming PNG Games.
We play PNG game, so team Hela been simi but our team golf to team golf and Moximi pass lo bami representing more team golf na play 49 lo team golf it's a PNG game.
The Gimabo Kickboxing Club promotes discipline, resilience and positive choices among the youth. Louis Maingu, Trukai Sports.
Moving to overseas sports in cricket, the Stars have ended their WBBL cricket campaign with a victory over Melbourne rivals, the Renegades, in a rain-affected match at the Melbourne Cricket Ground.
Watched by a record crowd for a standalone game of almost 6,000 fans, the Stars were bowled out for 118. The Renegades were through their sixth over when rain intervened for a second time. With play unable to resume, the Stars were declared winners by 8 runs under the Duckworth-Lewis-Stern method. The game had no bearing on the composition of the WBBL finals.
Courtney Bruce has been crowned the 2023 Liz Ellis Diamond Award at the Australian Netball Awards.
The 29-year-old defender received the top honour for her stellar domestic and international seasons with the West Coast Fever and the Australian Diamonds. It's the second time Bruce has received netball's highest individual award. She was also crowned the International Player of the Year on a night Super Netball Stars boycotted the awards due to the ongoing CBA dispute.
We're just hoping that we can get through this CPA negotiation and continue to fight for, I guess, fair pay and what we're looking for, but just to continue to grow the sport. We have an incredible sport that the world should see.
Max Verstappen has claimed pole position ahead of the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix with a superb start.
The Red Bull driver took his 12th pole position of the season. Australian Oscar Piastri will line up from third on the grid for McLaren, and Ferrari's Charles Leclerc is in second. It was a disappointing result for fellow Australian Dan Ricciardo, who didn't make it out of Q2 qualifying. He's in 15th for the final race of the season.
That ends Trukai Sports. The Money Plus weather report is next. Stay with us.
Trukai Sports. Trukai Sports.
This weather update is proudly brought to you by Money Plus, with you always.
Weather forecast for the next 24 hours. Southern region, Port Mosby and Popondetta, partly cloudy with brief showers and drizzle. Daru, cloudy with rain showers and possible thunderstorm. Kerema, cloudy periods with some showers. Alata, mostly fine, partly cloudy. In the Momase region, all centers partly cloudy with possible showers and drizzles. In the New Guinea Islands region, Lorengau, KVN, Kokopo and Rabaul, mostly fine, partly cloudy. Kimbe, cloudy with few showers and possible thunderstorm. Buka, partly cloudy with few showers. And in the Highlands region, Mount Hagen, Mendi and Wabeg, partly cloudy with few possible showers and thunderstorm. Goroka and Kondiawa, partly cloudy with few showers.
The weather update was proudly brought to you by Money Plus, with you always.
And that wraps up the news, sports and weather for Sunday, the 26th of November, 2023. From all of us here, pleasant viewing. Good night.
This news program was proudly brought to you by Paradise Foods, celebrating 90 years in PNG. This news program is proudly brought to you by Paradise Foods, celebrating 90 years in PNG. This news program is proudly brought to you by Paradise Foods, celebrating 90 years in PNG.